Yo peeps, what's up? We're on day 9, like holy. There are 22 days in this series. My name is Patricia, I go by the nickname of P. This is our channel P&E where we are doing this series to help you quit smoking. And not just quit smoking, but quit smoking easily, forever, right away, get that bleep done and not make it hard. I love to welcome my little buddy Oscar here. I love it when he sleeps alongside these videos. He's snoring pretty hard today, so I hope that doesn't interfere with the audio and that you find it as cute as I do. In this journey with me, what I'm doing is I am making people aware of the book by Alan Carr and how I quit smoking in one day. I read the book in one day and quit. Now, yeah, this is after owning the book for years and reading it halfway years before and being tortured with cigarettes for 18 years, maybe even a little longer, smoking all the time. So I get wherever you are at in this journey and that you might still think it's hard to quit and yada, yada, yada. So these 22 videos are not only to help you figure out how to quit smoking easily and have the amazing experience that I finally had, but also to manifest anything you want in your life. And so I'm using tarot cards to help with that. They are giving us inspiration all the way along. And today's card, I'm going through the major arcana, which is a journey, sort of a fool's journey. And this is your journey to getting whatever you want and quitting smoking easily, forever. Today's card is strength, which is pretty awesome when it comes to quitting smoking. I mean, the major misconception that would get cleared up in the book for you is that you can't quit with willpower. And I did talk a bit about this yesterday, and this is kind of the part of things where we're going to talk about that in this card as well. You have the strength to do this. This isn't about willpower. As a matter of fact, it's not even difficult. The reason you think that it is at this point, if you're feeling that way, is because you're still stuck in the smoking trap and you haven't seen it for what it really is. The book has a brilliant way of walking you through that start to finish. He even encourages, Alan Carr, who wrote it, even encourages you to smoke if you want throughout it. So it's a no pressure method, and just like I'm doing here, it's just delivering the information. What you do with it is up to you. How you feel about it is up to you. And that's the trickier thing. A lot of people don't realize feelings are up to them. My goal with these videos is to teach you stuff like that from the book, but also to inspire you through journaling and some meditative techniques so that this can be fun and easy, and that you're going to learn more than just quitting smoking. You're going to go even deeper and manifest something awesome in your life. Today's card was strength. We're going further with inner power. We've touched on that a little bit with other cards. And this strength is about overcoming weakness or perceived weakness. We talked before in another card how you have all the tools that you need to do this, but often we think we're not enough. We think we can't, we're not worthy, we're not deserving, but you do have the strength and you have the inner connection we've been touching on. And that's where you build from that strength, having your connection to higher, universal energy, and also having that connection to your higher self. And that brings a calmness and a peace and a knowing of your abilities in itself. And that's why it's so important. So let's explore with more questions. At this phase in the journey, especially if you're struggling at all with switching from willpower to activating your mindset of, completing this and finding it easy and freeing yourself from the trap that you've been, tricked into all these years. If you're struggling with that, investigation in your journal is the best way to get through it. This card is about exploring the harmony and becoming at peace with who you are. That brings strength. With believing in yourself. For me, I was very stubborn about believing in myself or about loving myself. That I really pushed that down, so it was hard for me to open up to that. So this card is really about exploring that peace that you can have with that and letting go of hating yourself and the ideas that you've bought into all this time. It can be hard to let go of that. It takes strength. It takes strength to go, oh, okay, so all these years I was being lied to and I believed it. There's a bit of ego there. How could I be tricked by everybody into thinking that smoking was a difficult thing to give up, and getting addicted to it? How did all that come about? So there's a strength in being able to surrender and saying, okay, that was what it was, and taking a lighthearted attitude to quitting forever, and that it is possible that you were just wrong all this time. You were mistaught. So give yourself a break, you know what I'm saying? And that's where your strength really comes from, that peace and that calm and that harmony within. Your life is in your control. And when you take that power back and you say, I am enough, I have everything I need, I can control where my life is going, I'm no longer going to live and put out the fire mode, I'm going to live and go get what I want mode, there's strength in that. That's what I want you to really feel inspired with for today. So here's how you're going to do it. Let's reflect on who you are and what's going on in your journal. I want you to make a list of new ideas and things that you're exploring in your journal. So some of those might be the idea that smoking is a trap. The idea that being addicted is not as difficult. The symptoms of addiction to nicotine are really not that bad. The idea that you can have whatever you want. I want you to list different ideas that you're considering, that you have the power within. Things that maybe you didn't know before, or you kind of maybe thought, but since getting into this, you're considering these ideas. Since reading Alan Carr's book, you're considering ideas. Where are you at? List some of that. You don't have to spend a lot of time. I kind of want the stuff that first comes to you and flows, that is the truth that you're in. The stuff that comes after that you have to work harder to come up with is maybe you convincing yourself in and out of different ideas. So let's get as close to your truth as possible. Next, what new qualities are you calling on that maybe you didn't know you had, or you didn't put into use that often because you're reacting to life and now you're taking action in life? So what new qualities are you calling on? What kind of changes are you allowing in your day? We did a pie chart the one day so you could examine what an actual day in your life looks like, where you're spending your time. A lot of us spin our wheels and don't really realize where we spend our time and how much of that time is actually spent on the things we wish for. You have these goals, whether it's losing weight or making more money or finding, that perfect person or spending more time doing whatever. You have these ideas that you kind of wish and dream about just before you go to bed, or kind of while you're watching TV and eating on the couch. But they don't seem to come through, and you think, oh man, that person's dreams came true and that person's dreams came true. It'd be cool if mine did, but they never seem to. But when you actually look at your day, where do you set aside time to put anything into action for these things you want to manifest? Maybe you've heard of the law of attraction, you've put some ideas out there, but they don't come. Instead, bad stuff comes, or the opposite of what you want. What percentage of your day is spent working on those things? Off on a tangent there, but that's what I want you to explore. What kind of changes are you allowing in your day? Where did you change your schedule to let new opportunities come in? For some of you, this could literally be your 8th or 9th day on your smoking journey, or this could be day 1. So changes and listing things, the list could be short, the changes could be small at this point, it could be a week in. However, there are subtle changes that could be happening every day and things that you're thinking about, right? So that's fine. It doesn't have to be a huge long journal entry. Carry them with you for a few days and keep answering them. Also, you can answer them now for what you're thinking 2 months from now. What do you want to be in place 2 months from now? What do you want to be allowing in your life 2 months from now? What qualities do you want to be using in yourself 2 months from now, ones that you had to activate and practice? Okay, so it doesn't have, you can expand this in any way you need to fit you, but those are questions you definitely want to explore today, and maybe even a few months from now. Again, explore these same questions and call on your strength. This is how you can bring your strength out. So for a meditation, I want you to consider your strength, and I want you to consider the idea of how you can handle stress differently going forward. Maybe you've relied on cigarettes, and you see that in the trap in the book, that you may have relied on cigarettes for stress, but they were actually stressing you out more. What a concept. That could be a whole video in itself, actually. Put in the comments if you want to kind of talk about that some more. But in your meditation, I want you to think about the releasing of stress and visualize new ways to handle stress. Just the releasing and bringing in love. Okay, that's your meditation topics for today. Those are your journal questions. Put it in the comments, whatever you want to hash out and talk about. I am great at helping people get deeper within and come out with new ideas, creative solutions. Please hit the notifications if you want to see the whole series and get the videos every day. I will link the last one in the comments. And please subscribe so we can grow the channel and get more people free of smoking and all the other cool shit I got coming down the line. Bye. See you tomorrow.